Hi, my name's Andy Dorsch, and today we're going to be weathering a Burlington Northern Box Car for my third video in the Ron's Trains and Things Down and Dirty Weathering Contest. Looking good. So we're going to take our wash that we used on the C&W boxcar and add 1 drop of red acrylic paint to it. And then as you can see here, we're just going to use the same technique that we used on the C&W boxcar. So what I want to do is keep my airbrush about 6 inches away. As you can see here, about 6 inches away, and then keep making the airbrush strokes. Don't start in the middle of the model. You want to start on one side of it and then go all the way across the other, going past each side. So as you can see here, I'm just going down and back and past the model, not starting anywhere in the middle of the model. Otherwise you'll get like weird spots. So yep, just go down and back. Alright, so now we're going to add a kind of a green wash to the model here to bring some of the green back and kind of apply a fade effect. This is used by military modelers on any of the old olive drab green models that they have, you know, like the old World War II stuff. So here's my technique. It's just, again, everything that we do with the model is all the way from the top to the bottom. Ooh, that's a lot. And we just go from the top to the bottom and streak it all the way down. Again, top to bottom. And make sure that you cover the model as best you can with this wash. Alright, so we want to keep the Burlington Northern white lettering white. So I'm just taking a sponge here and pulling some of it back. As you can see there, it's rubbing right off. And I'll do the same with basically a toothpick and some paper towel for the lettering. And you can see there, pulled back some of that green fade. Well, next it's Bragdon weathering powder time. We're going to use soot and dark rust here, and we're just going to do the ladders on the side of the car, and then we'll go through and start to accentuate the doors here. As you can see, we're just rubbing it right on, and it sticks pretty good to the model. I've gone ahead and sprayed these with dull coat, so it's, you know, gives it a little tooth for the powders to adhere to. Right, so we're going to change it up a little bit. As opposed to the old soot and dark rust, I'm going to use Old Tuscan and Antique Iron. Kind of give more of a red versus a brown and black. So as you can see, it really kind of pops compared to the first door hinges that we did there. We'll just kind of blend it all together here. So now that we got our powders applied to the doors and to the ladders, I want to recreate this grime spot on the doors. So I'm taking the soot Bragdon powders and just kind of putting it in the area, as you can see in the picture above, and then just kind of blending it all in, hopefully creating the same effect that's on the prototype picture. Then you can see here, got a dark spot on the door, similar to what's on the prototype picture. Alright, same technique for getting the roof rusty that I used on the C&W box car. We're taking some burnt sienna here and sponging it on. But here I'm going to go pretty heavy with it. And what I want to do is have a couple roof panels really rusted up, and then not so much rust in the middle of the car, and then kind of rust out the ends a little bit. Kind of taking modeler's license here because I didn't have a picture of the roof, but as you can see from some of the side shot photos of this car, it looked like there was some rusting in this area, heavy rusting. So here we go, we're just full strength oil-based paint, and we're just blasting it on there with a sponge. Dab, dab, dab. Alright, really starting to fill in now, though as you can see where the ribs are, it's still a little light, so we're going to have to go back over those with a brush. And then we'll speed it up here. Add some more to the middle of the car, and then kind of get the end all covered up. You can see those ribs still need to be covered in. Alright, so we're just going to take a paintbrush and we're going to work in a parallel pattern to the ribs, and we'll just add full strength paint here. As you can see, we start to fill that in. Now you can always build this up. You don't have to glob on paint. So what I did is I went with thin layers of full strength paint here, just to kind of build it up, and I was real careful to streak parallel to the ribs. And here I'm going to do it on the second panel here. Same process. Just build up a thin layer and make sure you get the whole panel covered. Otherwise it would kind of look a little funny. And then I'm going to go and add some darker rust spots here with the brush in some areas here. Just kind of use your imagination. Kind of, you know, oh, this was sitting under an old awning for a little bit where the water just dripped on and stained and caused a bit of rust, and so now we got a roof that's rusting out in different spots at different levels. So now that we got the oil on there, I like to add pan pastels for a bit of texture. Kind of gives that crusty look, if you will, to rust. So we go through here and take the pan pastels and just apply it straight to the wet oil, and it works pretty well. And just get the rest of the roof here. And there we go. And we'll just get that in there, kind of blend that out. And that's what the roof's going to look like. Alright, so the next thing I want to do here is I want to take that big beautiful white B for the Burlington Northern, and I want to have the white paint bleed out a little bit. So we're going to use Artist Oil Titanium White, and I'm going to take a toothpick here and really gingerly apply it to the bottom of the lettering here. As you can see, I'm just putting a little bit on there, and then I'm taking my brush and streaking it straight down. And hopefully, you know, simulating that effect that big white B is starting to kind of degrade and bleed out. And I took way too much off, so I'm going to come back in here with the second coat. Just real lightly streaking down, mimicking gravity here. And we'll just kind of streak all the way down. And as you can see, I'm just getting a few pock marks in there where it's kind of streaking out. Add a little more, pull down. Ooh, it might be a little, ooh, steady hand, steady hand. All right, and then just kind of get rid of it near the bottom of the car. And we can come back with Bragdon powders and blend that out so it doesn't look, you know, too uniform. And there's the finished product. Alright, the last thing I want to do to this car before we put a final coat of dull coat on it is take a oil wash and kind of go over where the grimy parts are, so any hinges or anything that would have grease in it or have gotten grease on it. I just want to take and lightly dab a bit of this wash to those high points, and then what it does is it really kind of accentuates the weathered spots here. So I see I'm going around the door and hitting the hinges and the rollers, any of the working mechanisms on the door, hitting it with the grease. As you can see there, it's starting to kind of make those parts pop. So this is the final result. I think it turned out pretty good. If you want to share your tips and techniques on how to do weathering, please feel free to do so in the comment section below in this video, or if you just have any comments in general about how I weathered this car or the materials that I used, feel free to comment, and I'd love to hear back from you. So that's going to do it for me in this third video of the Ron's Trains and Things Down and Dirty Weathering Contest. I want to thank Ron at Ron's Trains and Things, Eric at imrro.com, and Midwest Model Railroad for putting this shindig on. And I hope that you'll join me for my fourth video coming soon here, showing the final results. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and until next time, keep her in notch 8.